Hello everyone, I am Xiao Tang and welcome to my channel. Recently, I have posted many videos about fermented foods, and some fans have commented below asking whether kimchi counts as a fermented food. Of course, kimchi is considered a fermented food, but its reputation is not as good as that of yogurt or natto. Many people think that kimchi is not a healthy food, and some even say that kimchi is a carcinogen. So today, I will start from the fermentation principles of kimchi to clarify its misconceptions. At the end of the video, I will also teach you a simple and scientific testing method to ensure you can enjoy safe and healthy kimchi, so make sure to watch until the end. First of all, many people think kimchi is unhealthy, mainly because of the nitrites it contains, which can convert into nitrosamines in the body, and nitrosamines are known carcinogens. However, why do fermented foods like yogurt, natto, and tempeh not contain nitrites? In kimchi, we need to mention a bad player in the fermentation process, which is the nitrite-reducing bacteria. These bacteria use nitrate as a food source in the fermentation environment, breaking it down into nitrite, while vegetables happen to contain a large amount of nitrate. Milk and legumes, on the other hand, contain almost no nitrate, so kimchi does indeed produce nitrite during the fermentation process. But don't worry, I'm not claiming that kimchi is toxic. Let's first take a look at a curve chart showing the changes in nitrite levels to see how this bad guy is defeated. In the early stages of fermentation, approximately within 1 to 3 days, the nitrite levels will rise rapidly, peaking on the 3rd day. After that, the nitrite levels will quickly decline until they gradually stabilize around the 6th to 8th day of fermentation. This significant fluctuation is not only related to the nitrite-reducing bacteria, it is also important to mention a very beneficial bacterium, which is lactic acid bacteria. During the fermentation process, it breaks down the glucose in the vegetables into lactose, thereby lowering the pH value and making the fermentation environment increasingly acidic. This acidic environment is like poison for nitrite-reducing bacteria, as they can hardly survive in it. In the early stages of kimchi fermentation, however, the fermentation environment is neutral and there is still residual oxygen in the kimchi jar. This is an ideal environment for the proliferation of nitrite-reducing bacteria, which rapidly expand here. However, by the 3rd day, the situation is dominated by lactic acid bacteria, and the fermentation environment becomes increasingly acidic. At this point, the environment is no longer suitable for nitrite-reducing bacteria to survive, and the previously produced nitrite gradually decomposes into nitrogen gas and other harmless substances in such an acidic environment. By understanding the fermentation process, have you also discovered the key to making healthy kimchi? Next, I will summarize 5 key points for making kimchi that you must remember. The first is controlling the fermentation time, which is crucial for the quality of kimchi. Typically, during the first 3 days of fermentation, the content of nitrite will rise rapidly and reach its peak. To ensure the safety of fermentation, it is recommended to wait until at least the 7th day before consuming it. At this point, the kimchi not only has a better flavor, but also it's safer. The second point is to increase lactic acid bacteria and other beneficial probiotics. We can add beneficial bacteria, like lactic acid bacteria, at the early stage of fermentation, as the rapid fermentation by these beneficial bacteria can quickly lower the pH, thereby inhibiting the growth of nitrite and some other harmful bacteria. It's important to know that Escherichia coli and Serratia marcescens find it difficult to survive in an environment with a pH below 4. The third point is the concentration of the salt water. When making kimchi, the role of the salt water is not just to enhance the crispness of the vegetables, but it should be about 3%. The concentration can effectively inhibit the growth of some harmful bacteria without affecting the reproduction of lactic acid bacteria, including nitrite-reducing bacteria. Typically, we maintain the salt water concentration between 2% and 4%. Additionally, to ensure effective fermentation, we should use alcohol salt that does not contain added iodine or anti-caking agents. Products labeled simply as salt are the most suitable. Fourth, we should use one-way exhaust valves to minimize the entry of oxygen into the fermentation barrel during the fermentation process. During the process, a large amount of carbon dioxide is produced. What happens if it is completely sealed? The accumulation of carbon dioxide can lead to the explosion of the container. However, using a one-way exhaust valve can effectively release the carbon dioxide generated during fermentation. At the same time, it ensures a low oxygen environment for fermentation. Fifth, the vegetables must be fully submerged in the salt water. After soaking in the salt water for a few days, the vegetables will soften and can easily float float to the surface, exposing them to the air, which makes them susceptible to harmful bacteria. This is an important reason for the failure of kimchi fermentation in the later stages. To avoid the situation, using a weight can firmly press the vegetables below the salt water, ensuring they are completely submerged in the salt water, thereby reducing the growth of harmful bacteria and increasing the chances of successful fermentation. If you still have concerns about the safety of making pickles, I have two small tools to recommend. The first is the pH testing pen, which can help you understand the pH level of fermented foods to ensure a smooth fermentation process. As long as your pickles have a pH level close to 4 after a week, it indicates that fermentation has been successful. The pH testing pen is also very useful for making other fermented foods such as kombucha. The second tool is the nitrite test strip, which can detect the nitrite content in pickles. But you can eat with more peace of mind. The large amount of probiotics contained in pickles is very beneficial for the gut. Don't let nitrites tarnish the reputation of pickles. As long as you master the correct fermentation methods, you can enjoy this delicious and healthy fermented food with confidence. In the next video, I will teach everyone step by step how to make healthy pickles. If you are interested in this topic, remember to follow my account so you don't miss out on future exciting content. At the same time, if you are interested in fermented foods, you can watch the videos I previously released. In addition, you can find more videos about making fermented foods on my homepage. I am Tang Xiaoxian, sharing a healthy lifestyle. This video ends here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.